Okay, so we're diving deep into carbs today.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and we've got this blog post from this guy who calls himself an old software plumber.
Okay.
He's reading a book about all this health stuff, blood sugar, cholesterol,
Mm-hmm.
triglycerides, all that.
Yeah, it sounds like he's really trying to connect the dots between his diet and how he's feeling overall.
Exactly. And you know what really stood out to me?
What's that?
This whole thing about how different cultures view carbs.
Oh, yeah.
Like, did you know that in Chinese, the term for carbohydrate literally means carbon water compound?
Yeah, it's true. It's opasie, otsua, shuha ewu,
Whoa.
which, if you break it down, it's carbon, water, and then compound.
Huh. So it's a very literal description of what they are chemically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it reminds me, we always see that, like CHO for carbs,
Right.
carbon, hydrogen,
The
oxygen.
basic building blocks.
Yeah, the basic building blocks. But I guess, like, why do we even need these carbon water compounds in our bodies anyway?
Well, think of carbohydrates as like our primary source of energy.
Okay.
When we eat carbs, our bodies break them down into glucose. And glucose is a simple sugar,
Gotcha.
and that enters our bloodstream.
So that's where that, like, energy boost comes from after
Yeah.
you eat, like, a big pasta meal or something.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so I get the energy boost part, but then what about, like, those energy crashes?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, you want more carbs, those cravings you get.
Yeah, well, that's your blood sugar, right? So when your blood sugar spikes after eating, especially simple carbs, like
Okay.
refined sugar,
Mm-hmm.
your body releases insulin. And insulin basically helps your cells absorb that glucose from your blood and use it for energy.
Okay.
But sometimes insulin can be a little bit overzealous,
Oh.
and it causes your blood sugar to drop really quickly.
So that's the crash.
Exactly, that's the crash. And that leaves you feeling tired and craving more sugar to bring those levels back up.
Ugh. It's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it can be.
So that explains the sugar rush and the crash. But what about over the long term? Like, if you eat too many carbs, what happens then?
Right.
Because I know the blog author mentioned something about them being stored as fat.
Yeah, that's key. So when you eat more carbs than your body can use right away,
Right.
it converts that extra glucose into glycogen.
Glycogen, okay.
And that gets stored in your liver and muscles.
Oh, so it's like our backup energy reserve.
Exactly.
It's like a little battery pack.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Our glycogen storage, it has its limits.
Uh-oh.
So once those reserves are full, any additional glucose, guess what? It gets converted into fat for long-term storage.
So that's how people gain weight from eating too many carbs.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not just about the weight gain, though, right?
Yeah.
The blog author was worried about his cholesterol and triglycerides, too.
Right, so high triglycerides, that's a type of fat found in your blood,
Mm-hmm.
and that can increase your risk of heart disease. Now, dietary fat plays a role, for sure,
Right.
but eating too many carbs can also contribute to those high triglyceride levels.
Ah, yeah, interesting.
And then with cholesterol, it's not just cholesterol, right? There's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol.
Right. HDL and LDL.
Exactly, HDL and LDL. And that LDL, that's the one you want to keep low because it's a major risk factor for heart disease.
Got it.
And the relationship between carbs and cholesterol, it's complicated.
Yeah.
But eating too many of those simple carbs can lead to an increase in LDL and a decrease in HDL.
It's a double whammy.
Yeah, it's not a good combination for your heart.
So it's like this chain reaction.
Mhm.
Too many carbs leads to fat storage, which then messes with your cholesterol and triglycerides,
Uh-huh.
and then potentially heart problems down the line.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's so important to understand not just what carbs are, but how our bodies use them.
Right.
And what can happen if we eat too many.
Yeah, that makes sense. You don't want to overload the system.
Exactly.
It's all about balance, right?
Exactly. Finding that balance.
This software plumber guy, it's like he's really trying to, I don't know, decode his health,
Yeah.
like rewrite his dietary code or something.
I like that analogy. It's true, though.
Yeah.
The more you know about how your body works, the better choices you can make about what you eat, right?
Absolutely. And speaking of choices, I bet a lot of people listening are wondering, okay, so are all carbs bad?
Right.
Should I just like cut them all out?
That's a great question. And it's one I hear all the time.
Yeah.
But the truth is, not all carbs are created equal.
Okay, so like, what's the difference then? What should we be looking out for?
So you've got simple carbs and you've got complex carbs.
All right, break it down for us. What's the difference?
Okay, so simple carbs, they're like short chains of sugar molecules.
Okay.
You find them in processed foods, sugary drinks, white bread.
Mm-hmm.
Even some fruits have simple carbs.
Okay.
And these guys, they get digested really quickly.
Oh, so those are the ones that give you the sugar rush and the crash.
Exactly. Those are the ones that cause those spikes and crashes in blood sugar that we were talking about earlier.
And those are the ones that are more likely to, like, make you gain weight and stuff if you eat too many of them.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so what about complex carbs then? What are those all about?
So complex carbs are made up of longer chains of sugar molecules.
Okay.
They take longer to digest, so they give you more sustained energy.
Oh, so you don't get that, like, crazy spike and crash.
Right,
You
exactly.
just feel, like, more steady.
Exactly. And they keep you feeling full for longer, too.
Oh, that's a bonus.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of complex carbs, they're also packed with fiber, which is really good for your digestion.
Right. Fiber's important.
It can even help regulate your cholesterol level.
Oh, wow. So it's like, it's really not about cutting out carbs entirely.
Nope.
It's about choosing the right kind.
Exactly. It's about quality over quantity.
Okay, so swap out the simple carbs for the complex carbs.
Exactly.
Gotcha. But what about, like, what if you're really craving those simple carbs?
Yeah.
Like, you just really want that candy bar or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. Those cravings can be really strong.
Yeah.
I think it helps to figure out why you're craving those things in the first place.
Okay, yeah, like, what's triggering it?
Right. Are you actually hungry, or is it something else? Like, are you stressed or bored?
Oh, so sometimes we eat for reasons other than just being hungry.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's where being mindful can really help.
Okay, so, like, how do you do that? How do you be more mindful about what you're eating?
Well, start by paying attention to your body's signals. Like, are
Yes.
you actually hungry? Or are you just reaching for that bag of chips because you're feeling stressed?
Right, right. So it's like recognizing those triggers.
Exactly. And then you can start to make different choices.
So instead of reaching for the chips, maybe go for a walk,
Yeah.
call a friend,
Exactly. Find something else to do that will help you shift your focus.
and hopefully make you forget about the chips.
Hopefully, yeah. It's all about finding healthier ways to cope with those cravings.
So it's all about, like, taking control of your health, just like this software plumber is doing.
Exactly. It's empowering. Right.
Yeah, totally. And it's like you were saying before, everybody's different.
Right.
So what works for one person might not work for another.
Exactly. There's no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to nutrition.
So you got to figure out what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are some of the biggest myths or misconceptions that you hear about carbs?
Oh, man, there are so many. I think one of the biggest ones is that all carbs are fattening.
Yeah, we kind of busted that one already.
Yeah, we did. Like we said, it's not that simple. It depends on the type of carb and how much you're eating.
Right. It's all about balance.
Exactly. Another big misconception is that you have to cut out carbs completely to lose weight.
Like those super low carb diets.
Yeah, those can work for some people in the short term, but they're not always sustainable or healthy in the long run.
Right. And there's a difference between cutting back on refined sugars and processed foods
Mm-hmm.
and cutting out, like, whole grains and vegetables.
Exactly. You don't want to cut out those healthy, complex carbs.
Yeah, they're good for you.
They are. They provide energy. They help with hormone production, brain function.
It's like fuel for your whole body.
Exactly. And they even help with muscle recovery after you work out.
Oh, wow. So it's not about demonizing carbs.
Nope.
It's about understanding them
Exactly.
and making smart choices.
Right. Choices that support your overall health goals.
Okay, so this software plumber, he's definitely on the right track.
He is. He's really trying to figure things out.
Yeah, it's pretty inspiring, actually.
It is.
It makes me think about how different cultures view carbs.
Oh, yeah.
Like we talked about the Chinese term, which is all about the chemical composition.
Right.
But in other cultures, it might be more about how those foods are used in cooking or what they represent socially.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, like pasta in Italy or rice in a lot of Asian countries.
Right. It's more than just food. It's part of their culture.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think it's great to honor those traditions, but also, be mindful of the nutritional aspects.
So it's like finding that balance again.
Exactly. Enjoying the food you love while also taking care of your body.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like we've covered so much ground today.
We have, yeah. We've gone from like basic carb chemistry to cultural significance.
It's been a wild ride,
Haha, it has.
but hopefully a helpful one for our listeners.
Definitely. I hope they're feeling more informed and ready to make some healthy changes.
Wow, it's amazing how much there is to know about carbs, right?
I know, right? It really is. And we've only scratched the surface here.
Yeah, totally.
But I think it's a good starting point for people to kind of reevaluate their relationship with carbs.
Absolutely. And maybe even inspire them to do a little research on their own.
Yeah, like our software plumber friend.
Yeah, exactly. What really struck me about his blog post was how he really went deep into the science.
Hmm.
Like, he didn't just take the book's word for it. He did his own digging, even experimented with different types of carbs to see how they affected him.
Yeah, I love that. It's so important to pay attention to how your body responds to things.
It's like his own personal beta test.
Exactly. I always tell people keep a food journal. See how you feel after you eat different things.
Yeah.
You might be surprised by what you learn.
Yeah, you might realize that you're sensitive to something you didn't even know about.
Totally. It's all about becoming more aware of your own body's needs.
Okay, so for our listener who's ready to start their own carb-conscious journey, what's one piece of advice you would give them?
I think the biggest thing is focusing on quality.
Okay.
Choose those whole, unprocessed foods as much as possible.
So like brown rice instead of white rice.
Exactly. And pay attention to portion sizes, too.
Right. It's not about deprivation. It's about making healthy choices.
That's it. And don't be afraid to try new things.
Yeah, branch out a little. Like there's a whole world of grains and vegetables out there beyond white bread and pasta.
There really is. Get creative in the kitchen, find some new recipes, and enjoy the process.
It sounds like we've come full circle here, from the science of carbs to the art of cooking and eating.
We have, and it's all thanks to our software plumber friend.
Yeah, his curiosity is pretty inspiring.
It is, and I hope it rubs off on our listeners.
Me too. It just goes to show knowledge really is power.
Absolutely. The more you know, the better choices you can make for your health.
And that's what it's all about, right? Living a long, healthy life.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right, folks, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of carbohydrates.
Thanks for joining us.
And a big thanks to our old software plumber friend for sharing his insights.
Until next time, keep learning and keep exploring.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of The Deep Dive. Thanks for listening.